Sorry. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my world of Insta conversations. How is everyone? Uh, just gonna give a few seconds for a couple of people to uh, join in, and then I will start my self awareness conversation with you all. Hello, guys. How is everyone? Okay, guys, today I'm going to talk about self awareness. I was going to conduct a workshop, and in today's session, I'm going to talk about self awareness, especially from my personal experience. Uh, Personally, I had no idea about what is self awareness, what can self awareness do, and all that stuff. I didn't know anything about it. So you see, I don't know if you guys know what self-awareness is. Self-awareness is knowing yourself, knowing your feelings, your desires, your moods, your characters, your goods, your bads, everything at a conscious level. So just the way you sit and you, what we all do, which is wrong, but when you look at somebody and you scrutinize them or you judge them, this person is doing this or that, that kind of thing that you do for yourself at an individual level. And that's something we really don't do. I don't think so. We do that at a conscious level. And one or few ways that one can become self-aware is that self you self-reflect every day. You could do that by meditation. You could do that by writing a journal about yourself. You could do that by talking to yourself. So these kind of things really help you, because you see, they really open your eyes to a reality that you're not really looking at. And it helps not only you but your surrounding, and it helps you to see situations at so many different levels. And I think that self-awareness is so important, as it can go such a long way for you and everyone. And I really encourage that, because I have learned and changed. I'm still in the process, but I think it's beautiful. It's scary. It's really scary too. But it's a learning process, and you learn a lot when you become self-aware, especially about your own self. You think you know yourself better, but if you're not self-aware, you don't know. uh, I did do a previous I think I did 2 Q&As about self-awareness. And my whole point was for people to feel and be connected to themselves in a real way, not at the surface level. So I hope that those Q&As were helpful, and they did highlight you guys and did bring in light to becoming more self-aware of yourself. Uh, the benefits of One of the benefits of becoming self-aware is that you become the leader of your own life. And by becoming a leader of your own life is that people's opinions about you don't really define you, and they don't bother you. You take their feedback, and you can contemplate on it, but that's about it. If you're not self-aware, you would be, I would say, in a really self-defense mode kind of attitude, because you really don't know yourself. So you just go, oh no, I'm not like that. Or you become like, you become really attacking to that person who's either trying to help you or knows nothing about you. So if you're self-aware, you would know how to deal with your surrounding, and you know how to take criticism, and you know when a person is saying something, does that really make sense? And when the person is saying something, where is that person coming from. So self-awareness can go such a long way in so many different kind of elements. When you become self-aware, remember that you need to know that you need to ask the right questions from yourself. Self-awareness can take you into a very dark place as well. And I've not experienced that, but I was reading online that some people who did became self-aware went into depression, more depression than they were already in, because sometimes it shows you an image of yourself that you weren't aware of, and that can be disturbing. And for myself as well, I think that there were a lot of things that once I became self-aware I didn't like. I couldn't recognize myself, and I did make a post about that. When I look back at myself when I was in my early 20s or mid 20s, I don't recognize that girl anymore, because I can't, because I don't know what I was doing then, or why I was doing that, or what was making me do all those things. So self-awareness can go such a long way, guys. uh, Now let's talk. I wanted to talk to you about my self-awareness journey, and I wanted to talk to you guys about that, so you can learn from it, and maybe I can make you understand what self-awareness can do for you. uh, Around 2 years ago, I would say, I was in a dip. My personal life was in a dip, and I couldn't understand what was going on with me. And I remember I came in my room and I was really sad and I was crying. And I was like, you know what? Not everybody around me can be wrong. And I'm right. Because I always thought that I'm misunderstood. Nobody understands me. Nobody understands me. So I just really stopped. I don't know what happened in that moment that I went in my room and I was emotional, and I said, you know what? This isn't right, because that's been my life circle, where they don't understand me, they don't know me, and that's it. And then I became this kind of person where I'm in self defense mode, kind of shit. So I really stopped then, and I was like, you know what? I'm really gonna just stop and ask myself why. Why is that? Because not my whole environment can be wrong. There has to be something either I'm doing wrong, or my communication is not correct. So I really sat down into it, and what I really did was I went back. So what I did was, the moments in my life, let's say for example with my friends, with my cousins, where I was hurt, I went back and I asked myself, what or why am I hurt? What happened in that situation that was hurting me? And believe me, I don't know what happened. I seriously don't know what happened. That you call the awakening kind of thing happened for me. And I was like, okay, I went back to a situation. I was like, oh, I was making a mistake here. Oh, I was wrong there. Why didn't I realize then? So that's how it started. It was really bits and pieces, I would say, and nothing much. And it stopped. And then I moved back to my country. And then I went in a lot of depression, and I had a lot of anxiety. And I thought that nobody was trying to understand me emotionally, because my emotional state was really, really, really bad. And I just stopped mingling and meeting people. And yeah, I just became like, just left in my room most of the time. And then I started to ask myself real questions. What's wrong with me? What's going on? Why am I like that? Why I don't like meeting people? Why I'm becoming so this and that when somebody says something? And slowly and surely, I started to see a lot of unanswered questions, number one. Number two, I started to see situations from more dynamics, first I was just seeing it from my own self. Okay, this is how it is. But then I somehow started seeing that, oh no, that person is right. And, I could have said this and I misunderstood what that person was trying to say. And I started to join a lot of dots from myself, where I started to see how wrong I was. And that made me really sad, to be honest, because I never thought ever I was wrong in those situations. So I sat through that and I started to write notes, actually. And I started to write things that I didn't like about myself when I was doing the self reflection, and things I didn't realize before. And I reached out to a couple of people, and I brought the story up. Like, I spoke with my cousin. I said, oh, I remember all my childhood, I used to eat your head and I used to talk a lot, and I never used to let you talk. And you used to be, oh my God, you never even listened to me. So I started connecting with people and telling them how I felt and why I'm saying sorry after so many years and stuff like that. And it really started helping me, because where I was feeling bad and angry with myself, I was also reaching out and trying to make changes or amend, and owning my mistakes. Where I wasn't owning, I was just saying that I'm being judged or nobody understands me. And what I started realizing is, okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say that I had a fight with my cousin, and she said this, so I got pissed off on what she said. So I answered her back and said, you know what, blah, 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 blah. And my excuse for that was that she pushed me and she asked for it. What I did was that I changed that for myself, and I said, you know what, I'm responsible for what I'm reacting to, okay? So what she did was wrong, okay? That there's no denying on that. But how I reacted is something I need to own myself, right? So I really started owning that okay, what she said or what she or he or they are doing is not my responsibility, okay? And if they are wrong, I that's not on me. I need to see what I am doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I really started owning it. And when I started owning my responses and my reactions, I started to realize how wrong I was, where I didn't need to react, where it wasn't about me, where it's not that I was being judged or I was being misunderstood or I was being criticized and all those things. You basically just become a victim like that, where you let people define you and you keep on going in that cycle. So that's when self-awareness happens, you kind of break out of that, because you just find yourself. And when you find yourself and you know yourself, then things don't get to you. So when someone walks in and says, oh, you're not looking nice, that doesn't look nice on you, you don't take it in a negative way, but you take it gracefully, and you know yourself. So you don't react, you don't show them or give them a reaction and then say to yourself, well, they asked for it. So I think self-awareness is such an amazing thing. It's helped me so much. I've come this far only because of becoming self-aware. And sorry guys, I am not doing any video talk. This is just a little workshop that I was planning to conduct with you guys to help you, to bring you on self-awareness and to tell you how self-awareness can change you. So we're not doing any video calls for today's session. Anyway, so what was I saying? So self-awareness is basically just discovering yourself. And when you do that, it's amazing. It goes such a long way. I will definitely encourage you to become self-aware. It can mend your relationships. It can help you in so many different ways. There are so many Q&As online where you can go online and do some self-awareness tests for yourself. when you become self-aware, you also know why your esteem is low or bad or whatever level it is at, and then you can work on it. Not only that, on your self-confidence, it can help you build your self-confidence. It can it can help you in so many different ways. I mean, I cannot even tell you. For me personally, I know that before I was self aware, everything used to get to me, and I was very, very like reactive to any criticism. Now, when somebody says something to me, I know what from where they're coming from and why they're saying a certain thing, and whether it defines who I am or not, or whether I need to take that feedback and work on myself. Remember, guys, if you're becoming self-aware but you become arrogant in the process, you've lost the plot. Self-awareness is not there to make you become arrogant or cocky about yourself, where oh, I know myself. It's it's supposed to humble you, and it humbles you in a way because you know yourself and you know your mistakes and you're owning your mistakes. So you're not walking around like, oh yeah, now nobody can say anything to me. But you now come to a level where your self-confidence and where your self-esteem comes to a level where you know how and what you're going to react to, and sorry, uh, what you're going to react to. So I see a lot of people who talk about self confidence, but they don't know that self confidence is not supposed to bring in arrogance. And when you become self aware, you learn so much because you go back to your childhood and you see so many things you've done there. Oh my gosh. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know, I didn't even remember that I was doing all those things. So it's a learning process. You learn so much about yourself. You learn your mistakes, you learn from yourself. I think if we all were truly doing self-awareness, we won't have time to talk about anybody else, because it's such a hard work. It's a process, guys. It is a process. It's a journey. If we can work on it and teach our kids from a younger age to become self-aware, I think that can go such a long way uh, for them and their future, because it really helps you. It really shapes you. It really defines you. It helps you boost your self-confidence. It helps you understand yourself. It helps you know yourself. It helps you to self-care, self-love, and all those beautiful things. Guys, if you have any questions, you can comment below and I can answer you on that. Uh, Remember, guys, when you do self-awareness, you have to know the key to self-awareness is knowing um, the kind of questions you ask yourself. And I am working on conducting personal sessions on helping you bridge that gap. So if you're interested in working with me, do DM me and we can take it from there. If you have any questions, you can write in the comment section below and I can help you on that. Uh, I can also tell you that if you suffer from low self-esteem or low self-confidence, uh, that means you're not self-aware. So think, sit with yourself, and talk to yourself, and ask yourself questions. Why? I was working with somebody a couple of days ago, I think weeks ago, a few weeks ago, and this lady, she was talking to me and she was saying that she was struggling with weight. So she was more towards a plumpish side, but people used to call her fat, which is not nice. Body shaming should not be promoted. But all her life, she felt so bad about herself because she was more fuller side. Her body was more on the fuller side, and she went in this shell where she didn't like herself, she didn't like her body, she felt low about herself, her looks and everything. And I said to her, why are you letting people define yourself? Have you ever asked yourself, are you fat? Do you think you're fat when you look in the mirror? Do you feel that you're overweight and things like that? And she said, no, I've never done that. And I was like, maybe then you need to write what people say to you, and then write what you think you want to say to yourself, and take it from there. And she did that exercise, and she came back to me and she said, you know what? I'm not even fat. I'm just more like a fuller body kind of person. So, yeah, and she felt so happy. And then she started taking pictures and she started posting on her Insta, where she said that she's not fat, and she won't allow people to define her anymore. And guys, I see that a lot, that people who are not according to the weight we want to see them, we call them fat, or you're this and that, and we push them to an extent where they start to become genuinely fat, or because they start hating themselves. I think that we need to have a more open approach and let people be happy in whatever size they are happy with. Or if you really want somebody to change their size, then approach them in a more positive manner. Sometimes you're just going to reach out to people, because sometimes, because I am an emotional eater, so I eat if I'm stressed out. And if I'm really stressed out, then I'll gain weight. And I don't want people to come to me and say, oh, you become so fat. I would rather want somebody to approach me and ask me, are you okay? Is there some way we can help you? Are you looking to talk about something? Is something stressing you out? Maybe if somebody would do that, I would stop eating and really start communicating. That's how I see it. Because self-awareness also told me that I am an emotional eater. So if I'm stressed out, okay, I can't find my car keys, I'm getting stressed out, the whole day I can't find them, I'll start eating till I find my car keys. I'm stressed out. So those were one of the things that I realized, that I'm an emotional eater, and how I can stop that. So when my stress is triggered, I know what's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a candy. I'm going to grab a chocolate. I'm going to grab something, some kind of junk food. So now that I've identified that pattern, I can stop it and I can control it, because I really don't need a candy right now. I'm just stressed out and I don't know how to deal with that emotion. So how will I deal with it? I'll just eat something and I'll feel full, and that kind of will help. And that's what I've done all my life. Anytime I'm stressed, worried, exams were coming, I would be eating a lot. Hey, how are ya? And I never knew. I just thought, and that's what I've done. That's what I believe, that if I'm stressed, or if I haven't slept well, eat. Eat, 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 eat. And that's the only way you'll survive, or your body will survive. And lately, becoming self-aware, it kind of helped me understand my cycle, my pattern. And I know now, the minute I'm triggered, the minute something is stressing out or making me worried or making me anxious, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for that chocolate bar. So now I know, I stop myself. I'm able to stop myself and say, you know what, that's not going to help you, because after you've had one, you're going to have another one. So you need to stop doing that. You can't do that. You can't abuse your body like that. So don't do that to yourself. Same is with the emotions. When you become self-aware, so when I've become self-aware, if I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling depressed, I sit through that emotion. I am no longer suppressing it. I am reaching out to a friend if I want to. If I want to cry, I would cry. If I'm feeling sad, I let it pass. And believe me, when I don't ignore my emotions, it kind of helps me more to when I'm ignoring them. So previously I would say, oh, I can't cry because what will this person say, or my kids are around, or I can't cry. And then I would just become so irritable and nobody could stand me, honestly. But now I'm like, okay, I'm having an emotional meltdown. It's okay. I'm going to sit through it and let it pass. I cry and I get over it and I move on. Guys, sit through your emotions. This is something so important. It can go such a long way. Don't feel embarrassed. Sit through your emotion. Sad, depressed, excited, happy, you want to dance. Do it. Do it. Live in the moment, okay? Um, so these are some of the tips that I have been doing for myself in self awareness. I'm still learning a lot. Every day I do sit alone with myself, especially in the morning. I think about what I did yesterday or what I did in that situation, or things that just keep on popping up in my head, memories and stuff like that here and there. And I learned so much through my own personal experiences. And I journal it. I usually journal it. I usually either I make notes. It's something that you can always come back to and look at it. Uh, so, guys, if you are doing a self awareness for yourself, comment below and tell me how is it working out for yourself. Are you self aware? And have you been self aware in um, what are you willing to do to become self aware? Uh, because this is amazing. I'm telling you. This can really help you a lot. Guys, I'm waiting for your comments. Send me in. Comment below. Tell me, are we self aware? Are you guys self aware? If you are, what are your struggles? What struggles are you going through? What struggles have you been through while becoming self aware? Hello, how are you? I was just talking about, for those of you who are joining in, I'm just talking about what self awareness is, what it can do for you, and how far it can go for you guys. So, for those of you joining in, please comment below and tell me, are you suffering from low self confidence? Are you suffering from low self esteem? If you are, guys, there is nothing wrong with you. You are just not self aware. So, comment below, let me know, and let me help you. Uh, One of the other things that I learned through self awareness is that the way you talk, the way you dress, uh, the way you present yourself is entirely on you, and people should not tell you that, because when you're doing that, then you're not really depicting yourself, and I feel, being in my culture and in my country, I'm from Pakistan, we do that a lot. We try to impose our feelings or how we want to see a certain person a certain way, and that just kind of like really messes up the other person, especially with their personality. I think when we dress up a certain way, that's who you are, so that's defining yourself, so you should not feel bad about it. Okay, yes, sometimes it looks very hard to survive with certain people at job, at home. Okay, and why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that it's hard to survive with certain people at job or at home? Is it because they put you down? Is it because just make you stressed out? uh, do you feel that you are do you have low self-confidence, or you have low self-esteem? uh, Guys, I did mention before as well, and I will mention again, work on yourself. You gotta journal yourself. If you've been through any sort of abuse, if you've been through some trauma, childhood trauma, something you've been through that you suppress or you've not addressed, that could also lead to low self-confidence, low self-esteem. And all that happens because we suppress our emotions, and all that happens because we're not really self-aware at a conscious level. We have to become self-aware at a conscious level. We can only do that when we really feel our emotions, when we really understand why we feel a certain way. I just gave an example of, I was an emotional eater, and every time my stress got triggered or my anxiety or something happened, I would just reach out for the chocolate, I would just reach out for the candy. That was the only way. When I felt that my stomach is full, okay, the emotion is addressed. The emotion was never addressed. It kept on getting suppressed to a point where I eventually exploded. Did no go to myself, did no go to anybody around me. People who are not self-aware can do so much self-harm because they live in a bubble where they think that they're the victim and they don't see the whole story. Uh, when something bad happens to you, especially any sort of abuse or trauma, you have to internalize that there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, there is nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly perfect. Okay, and you can't blame yourself. Okay, the more you hold it inside of you, the more it's gonna hurt you. uh, Self-awareness is where you know what thoughts you're having. What kind of things are you saying to yourself? Are you saying to yourself, it's my fault, why did this happen to me, why am I wrong, why don't people understand me? And there's a lot of whys there, and there are a lot of negative or what can I say, negative words attached to your self image. um, that is not good. So you need to really sit and understand why and what you think. Why are you thinking this way? Why do you do that to yourself? You see, if I were to reach out to you and I say, oh, I'm so depressed and I did this and I feel so horrible about it, you know, all that, you would actually calm me down and say, hey, Mehwish, you did pretty well with the situation. Why are you being hard on yourself? Don't be hard on yourself. So we are so supportive to our people, our friends, our surrounding. Why aren't we supportive to ourselves? Why don't we talk good to ourselves? I can feel negative vibes if someone is not happy with me. I can feel it, then I get stressed. Okay, so you understand somebody's negative vibes, and that does not make you happy, and you get stressed about it. I would advise you to talk to that person. You see, when you become self-aware, you realize that so many problems are because of lack of communication. So you need to open up. Okay, you need to communicate with the person. You need to tell them how you're feeling. Do not hold back by saying, oh, if I say this, this will make it worse, or this will not help. Don't self assume, because what we do is, just to keep it going or just to keep it cool, we don't communicate. We just start assuming when we know somebody. Oh, we know this is the reaction. We know this is the reaction. You need to say what's bothering you, and what the reaction comes is something you're not going to take inside. Okay, that's not on you. You need to say what you're feeling, because you need to do that for yourself, so you don't beat yourself up later on that, oh, why didn't I say that, I should have said that, what would have happened if I said that. What you say, you own it, and you say it because you wanted to say it. The other person's reaction has got nothing to do with you. Okay, that doesn't define you're not at fault for that. Don't say things like, oh, you provoked me, and no, their reaction has got nothing to do with you. They need to own it just the way you need to own how and what you're reacting to. But you can't say these things to a narcissist because they just lash out, gray rock is better. Oh, yes. If you talk about narcissists, you cannot confront them. If you're talking about a narcissist, I would say do the silent treatment. No reaction is the best reaction, okay? Uh, have you ever seen that when your kid throws a tantrum, if you are screaming, or if you are trying to address them, or if you are giving them any reaction, how the tantrum gets prolonged? Because you're giving the reaction. When your kid throws a tantrum or a fit, or whines or says something, and you totally just ignore it and you become quiet, no reaction, instantaneously they'll realize it. I have literally done this with both my kids. My daughter is 10 and my son is almost 4. When my son throws a fit, I just ignore it. I'm not going to give it, or don't do this, or what are you doing? I don't. I just ignore it. And he's trying to get my attention and he's not getting it. And he stops, he comes to me and he says sorry. My daughter is the same. When she crosses a line, when she crosses a boundary, when I feel she's disrespecting me, I've stopped giving her a reaction. No reaction. And I just become quiet and I just do my thing. And when she cools down, she comes to me and says, Mama, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. But when you talk about how we know the person is narcissist, okay, you would know a person is a narcissist because they're so self-absorbed. They never own their mistakes. They lack empathy. So these are all big things to know that they are narcissists. Narcissists will never own their mistakes. You're always wrong. They will never empathize with you. So you're basically just dealing with a wall, I would say. So and Pinky, that's your name, right? Pinky, to you, you are from Pakistan. I can tell you that I feel that we have a lot of narcissists in our society and culture. Now ask me why. I say that because we live in a society, we live in a culture where it's male dominant, where men get away with literally everything. They can do anything and everything, and they're not accountable for that. So I think that we will be suffering the most because we live in a society where men dominate and they're not accountable. And sadly, sometimes women provoke men to act a certain way. So having said that, if you're dealing with a narcissist, you'll feel your feelings are invalid. They're never going to own their mistakes. They're never going to understand you. They lack empathy and they're so full of themselves. Okay, you're absolutely right. Easy said than yes, it's easier said than done. In any situation, guys, let me say that in any situation you are in, if you were to tell me something I've not experienced, how can I know that? How can I feel that? I cannot. And I'll tell you something. I lost my daughter a few years ago, 2013. And she just lived for 6 days, guys. So she's a newborn baby, I bet it. And a year passed by and her death anniversary came and we went to the graveyard. Her first death anniversary. And when I entered the graveyard, we were walking past some graves and I saw graves of kids who had passed at 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. I could not fathom the pain a mother had gone through losing a child at age 5, at 7, at 10. I mean, I was just like, I couldn't deal with it for 6 days. I've lost my daughter. So I think that when somebody comes and shares something you've never experienced, don't judge them. In fact, don't judge at all, but be more empathetic towards them. It can go such a long way. Um, okay, as people, sometimes we try and repaint people to suit our right. Yes, accept people as they are. Don't try and justify their woman to could be narcissist. I'm dealing with the monster of human from period. Yes, Vicky. Yes, guys, you cannot own what others do. That is how I started my session as well. What self-awareness, that's what self-awareness does. You have to own what you're doing. You have to own what you're saying, okay? The other person, how he's saying it or how she's saying that is it's got nothing to do with you. And yes, you can have narcissist females as well. I mean, thank you so much, Pinky. So when you're self-aware, you are self-aware of everything, guys. You are self-aware of uh, all your mistakes, and you own your mistakes and you know them. And you take it from there. Because when you own your mistakes, when you understand your faults, you are ready to put yourself right. When we are not self-aware, it is more like, this person doesn't understand me, this person is wrong, this person said this to me, so I said that to that person. When you're self-aware, you will know where to draw the line. You will know that you don't need to give a reaction, because you choose yourself over them, and you don't need to give a reaction to them. So sorry for your loss. You're a strong woman. Really proud of you. Thank you so much for your kind words, guys. So, guys, do self-awareness. I'm telling you, self-awareness will save you. It will save you. It will change you. It will take you to another level. uh, like Pinky, you said, little things at work, at your workplace or at your home will not trigger you. When you're self-aware, you will know what you are going to let through this body, through these thoughts, through your head. So when you're self-aware, you know yourself. Then you will know, okay, this is not getting through me. This has got nothing to do with me. What she's saying or what he's saying does not define me, and they're accountable for what they're saying and doing. And you will know that, trust me, you will know that you will be able to identify that when a person is attacking you, it's got nothing to do with you. They got a problem themselves. They need to deal with it. They need to fix it for themselves. And you won't feel bad for yourself, because you will know who you truly are, where you're wrong, where you're not wrong. So it will give you that sense of self-priority. Self-awareness sometimes leads to overthinking, and yes, that is totally correct. That is something also that I spoke on earlier. That self-awareness can lead you to overthinking, and then can leave you depressed. I can help people with that. Also, you can overcome that as well, because when you become self-aware, you start to see a lot of things that you have been doing wrong, and sometimes it's a scary and an ugly picture, because you see the true self, and sometimes you didn't want to see that. So when you do that, it can sometimes lead you to depression and overthinking, and there are so many tools that can help you overcome that as well. You see, self-awareness has to bring you a balance. It shouldn't lead you to depression, and it shouldn't lead you to being arrogant. So you have to find that balance where you really have to accept yourself with all your flaws. If you're not going to accept yourself with all your flaws, who is going to accept you? Nobody. You have to accept yourself. You have to own it and work on yourself. When somebody comes to you, like your kids, how do you work on them when they make mistakes, horrible, terrible mistakes? You don't leave them, do you? You work on them. You find ways to help them. That's the kind of love you need to give yourself. You will always know your limits, whether or not you fit what kind of audience you're attracting. So self-aware doesn't mean perfections. Yes, exactly. Self-awareness has got nothing to do with perfection. Self-awareness is just a self-reflection. It's just like looking in the mirror, okay? And looking at your flaws and accepting yourself with your flaws, okay? Trust me, when you accept yourself with your flaws, no matter how bad they are, you will change. You will automatically change. You first need to start owning them. Don't shy away from that. When you are alone, looking in the mirror, talking to yourself, nobody's there. Nobody. So when you're self-aware, own it. There are so many women who go through abusive relationships, and they blame themselves. They're like, oh, I did this to myself. I did this to myself. Own it, okay? Because you have to own it. When you own it, you will be able to walk away. When you will own it, you will know it's not your fault. You need to stop blaming yourself for it. It's got nothing to do with you. It's all about the abuser. It's nothing to do with you. You're such a good person. The only thing I would say is that when you are being abused, I feel the question you need to ask is, why did I do that to myself? And that's a really hard question. That's a really hard question. Imagine you are in an abusive marriage or abusive relationship for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 15 years, whatever years, and you become self-aware, and then you say like, why did I do that to myself? Because now you become self-aware, you're becoming strong, you need to come out of it. And then you realize, oh, and it's a punch on your face. Why did I do that to myself? You have to own that you did it to yourself because you knew you did not know anything better. Okay? That had got nothing to do with you. Okay? You were a good person. That is why. Nothing more. Don't be hard on yourself. Okay? That is the kind of self work you will do on yourself. You will not blame yourself when you do self awareness. You will understand yourself, why you were making mistakes, what led you to make those mistakes. I didn't know better at that time, so I did what was the best, or what I knew to my best capacity. And now I know, and when I reflect on that situation, now I know I could have done it differently. So I forgive myself. And I thank myself that I learned from it and I move forward. We don't play the victim. We don't play the self pity. We don't play that we need validation from outside. We own it. When you own it, it goes a long way. And it can really help you, it can really shape you, and it can really help you come up to that level where you feel more self. I think you feel like you really start loving yourself. uh, we all know how it feels like to be in love with someone, right? When you become self aware, you actually start to fall in love with yourself because you are accepting. Don't you accept a partner when you fall in love with them? Don't you accept them with all their faults? You say, okay, we don't like these things about them, but we love them, so we'll go for it, right? Why not do that for yourself? Why not do that for yourself? Why not we look in the mirror and say, I am flawed. I have made so many mistakes. Jeez, I'm so messed up. So what? I own it. I own it. I'm responsible for it. It's my life. I'm in charge, okay? And I'm going to learn from them. And I'm going to redefine myself, right? How to avoid anger. If I'm depressed, I get angry on my kids. Okay, that's a good question. How to avoid anger if I'm depressed? When you are depressed, my dear, what do? You see, you lash out on people when you're depressed, and you lash out and you become angry on people because you are not dealing with something. You are suppressing something in the past, something that's been bothering you has just been left there unattended. You need to attend that. That is what is self awareness, sweetheart. That is what is going to do when you get in tune with every emotion. I am telling you. Okay, listen, I'm doing this session right now. Let's say all of a sudden I feel sad. How would you feel if I started crying? All of a sudden. I think you all think I'm crazy, right? That's okay. I would still cry. That is what self awareness is. You feel the emotion, you let it pass. It doesn't define you, it doesn't make you weak. It's got nothing to do with who you truly are. You sit through the emotion. When you sit through the emotion, you will learn not to get angry. You will not lash out on your kids. You will not feel depressed. When you feel depressed, you will know what you need to do. I just talked about me being stressed out. When I was stressed out, when I was depressed, when I was worried, what was my trigger? Emotional eating. I identified it and I know my cycle now. When I'm going to overeat, something is bothering me. I need to address it. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I really need to sit through it. It takes me days to really understand why. So I was overeating 2 days ago and I realized, okay, why am I overeating? Then I really have to sit with myself and ask myself, why? And I get the answer right away. Sometimes it takes 1 day, sometimes it takes 2 days. I get the answer. And then I speak to myself. I tell myself it's okay. So this is so common that we lash out on people because we're not self-aware. We're not in tune with ourselves. Self-awareness is something that you have to work on every day of your life. And I did give a few tips before. I can give you now. Meditation, self-journal, self-talk. Okay. Ask yourself what makes you angry and why you giving it so much attention. Exactly. You have to do the inward work. You have to talk to yourself. And she is saying, feel afterwards is going to change the situation. It's worth breathe slowly 3 to 2 times. Yes, exactly. Uh, any emotion you feel strongly, you need to sit through it and ask yourself, why is it happening? Sometimes, all of a sudden, nothing happens during the day, and something just happens and I feel sad. Like, what happened? Oh, is it raining? Or is it just quarantine? Is it just something? No. And I just start asking myself questions. Why am I feeling sad? What happened? Did something happen? And like she said, take few breaths, ask yourself questions, and it just passes. Trust me, it passes. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes. Sometimes it takes 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour. But it passes, okay? I can tell you, I've had anxiety. I've had a panic attack, okay? And if you've suffer from anxiety, you can know that anxiety is something, it's horrible. Having a panic attack is horrible, and I pray nobody ever has it. And the only thing that has had, I've taken no medication. I have done no counseling, okay? I went to no counselor. I took no medication. What did I do? Self-awareness. I understood my triggers, okay? And I used to lash out as well. It's come down because now I know what triggers me. When I get up, I know my mood, and if I'm not in the mood, I know now how I'm going to bring myself in the mood to go through the day. So be good to yourself, okay? When I wake up in the morning, I tell my kids, okay, leave me alone for 20 minutes. I'm going to have my cup of coffee, I'm going to collect my thoughts, and I'm available, okay? It's okay. I don't feel guilty about it. If I need that time in the morning for myself, I am not going to feel guilty for it, okay? I'm going to be there for myself. That is important. You got to be there for yourself first. You got to love yourself first, okay? Here's my glass, okay? And there's water in it right now. But if my glass is empty, what I'm going to give you? If you want something, how can I give you something? I have to have something in the glass to offer you, right? So you have to have something in yourself to be able to give others. If you have nothing in your heart, you're going to give nothing out. So give yourself love, give yourself time. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't define yourself through your failures, your your bad choices. They do not define you. Your failures, your choices were there to teach you lessons, were there to refine you, okay? So don't be hard on yourself. Uh, Already the world, the people around you are already very hard on you. You need to be kind to yourself first. Love yourself, guys. Love yourself. Work with me. Work on yourself. Let me help you become self-aware. It's taken me 15 months, 15 months to get to where I am, and I'm still not there. I'm still working on myself, and I learn something new every day about myself, and it can go such a long way. It can save you for so many heartbreaks. It can save you from so many daily stresses, and especially for women, I really reach out to you and I tell you and I beg you, work on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. You are amazing. You are doing so much. You are giving so much to the world. Each one of you was born with a talent, okay? So never think less of yourself. God did not make you lesser than somebody, okay? When a baby is born, they're not born with low self-esteem, okay? They're not. So don't define yourself like that. We were born with great self-esteem. Say that to yourself. I put it on my mirror and I look at it when I'm sad. I am phenomenal. Yes, I am. Why? Okay. Sometimes I say I'm phenomenal. I'm like, oh, really, I'm not phenomenal. And then I tell myself, girl, do you see what you've been through? Oh, you've been through hell. Look at where you are right now. Give yourself that, okay? Pat yourself. Reward yourself. When you do a self-reflection and you realize how amazing you were in that situation, reward yourself. Anything that makes you happy, that will give you a boost, okay? Don't think ever that you are less, okay? God has made you beautiful in every way, and never ever let anyone else let you define yourself lesser than that. On that on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap up and go. If you're interested in working with me on self-awareness, DM me. Let me help you, okay? And I can promise you and I can assure you, once you've established self-awareness, your life's going to change, and it's going to be beautiful. You're going to be unstoppable, and you're never going to look back, okay? Take very good care of yourselves, okay? And that's it. All right, take care. Bye bye.